Hi, I'm Doug the Bee Guy, and welcome to the Beginning Beekeeping series. In this series, we're going to cover everything from A to Z that you're going to need to know on how to become a beginning beekeeper. First, we're going to talk about equipment, what you need, what you don't need, what you may need. Then we're going to talk about bees. We'll show you how to install your bees, depending on whether you get a package or a nucleus colony. Then we're going to show you how to manage them. We're going to do videos every week or two and show you the whole progression for the whole season. How to check for swarming, how to add more brood boxes or supers for honey. Step-by-step process, we're going to show you everything that there is to know. And we'll also show you how to harvest your honey in the fall, and how to bottle it, or package it, and even sell it at the farmer's market. We'll show you all the steps that we do, and all the things I've learned over the last 10 years of doing this, and I hope that you're excited about learning to become a beekeeper. In this episode, we're going to talk about a beehive and all the different parts that are involved in a beehive. This here is a beehive, and it's made up of several different parts, and we'll show you what they are. So on the very top, you have what's called a telescopic cover. It comes down over the sides, it keeps the weather out. That's your cover. And sometimes there's what's called an inner cover. I don't use inner cover, so I don't have one, but I can show you a picture of that, and I'll insert it here. And that's a common piece of equipment that comes if you buy this as a kit from somewhere. I'll show you some places down in the comments that you can buy these as a whole kit. It's usually cheaper that way. They'll have an inner cover. This first box is what's called a honey super. So this is where the bees will store their honey. And this second box is called the deep or the brood box. And this is typically where the bees raise the little baby bees and they hatch out and all that stuff that we'll show you. This is where you'll install your bees. And this is kind of where they do all their work. Now, the very bottom is what's called a bottom board. So this is the very bottom of the hive, and then you put this bottom board on some bricks or a hive stand or some fancy version of a hive stand. We'll show you all that also, but this is just basically some hives have a hive stand built into the bottom board. There's all the varieties of equipment that you can buy out there, but I make some of my equipment and I buy some of it, so it's kind of a mishmash. So this is the bottom board, and this is the deep brood box. And then inside this brood box are frames. These are deep brood frames, and these are 9 1/8 by 16 inches or 19 inches or something like that, the dimensions. So they're standard. All this stuff is standard. So if you're going to build beehives, you need to find out those dimensions, and I'll give you that information to make sure that you build them so that all the standard equipment fits. Now, if you're watching this in a different country than the United States, you better check with your local beekeeper to see, because the beehives in different countries are a little different and they're different sizes, and you want to make one kind of hive for the wrong kind of frames, but that's not what's available to you. So you want to make sure that you're making the beehives the right size for all the equipment. Which is why I suggest if you're a very beginner, you probably should buy the first one, and then you can use that one to determine what the measurements are. It's a little easier. You don't have to worry about getting everything right. And I find it's just a little bit less stressful if you start with one that's already made. So here's a piece of comb that the bees built out. This kind of frame is a wooden frame, and you put a sheet of wax inside of it, or you put a popsicle stick or something and let the bees build the comb naturally. And the other one that I just showed you is called a plastic frame, and you put some wax on here, and the bees will build the comb right on this. And I have a variety of these: black, white, yellow. Just depends on what's the cheapest that you're buying when I buy them in bulk. I prefer the plastic frames. I do have wooden frames that also have plastic foundations. Instead of wax, they have the plastic insert there. The reason I like these is because you can clean them very easily. I've had some for 15 or 20 years because I bought them from another beekeeper. They were all messed up, and all I did was power wash them, and they became brand new. And so these are kind of indestructible unless you leave the black ones out in the sun for many years and the sun kind of warp them. But other than that, there's a whole lot that can happen to these. The wood ones are still pretty good too with the plastic, but if you just have this foundation here, there's a lot of things you have to do. You have to tie it so that it doesn't fall. The mice can eat this wax and they literally leave a big hole in it. And so there's some things that happen to this. The wax moth can totally destroy it, and then you're left with a piece of wood that you have to put some more stuff in. If the wax moth attack one of these, then all you do is scrape it off, clean it off, put some wax, and you're ready to go for the next time. So that's just my preference, but like I said, that's a decision you don't have to make. We're just going to go through all the equipment and show you what's available. So this honey super is considered a medium. There's something called a short that few people use anymore, but it's just a little bit shorter than this. I pretty much run deep brood boxes for my bees, and this is considered medium for honey. Again, this has frames in it, and this is, as you can see, this is a plastic frame, and the bees built that out very nicely. When you're starting out, you'll have frames like the one I just showed you. They don't have wax or anything on, and the bees are going to have to make all that. But I don't have any beginning frames like that. So here's a wooden frame that has foundation in it, and the bees build the wax, and that's kind of the honey super. And so you have a telescoping cover, you put your inner cover on here, and you put this back on. That's kind of the basic, simple beehive. There are many varieties and many ways of managing your bees, and we'll talk about the different management ideas, and that's going to be something that you're going to have to decide, and you'll probably have to find out depending on where you live in the world and the country, and people do different things depending on where they live. But the way that I do it is I pretty much manage my bees as one deep, and I put a queen excluder on, and then I stack up as many supers as possible to get honey, maybe 3, 4, 5, depending on how the season is, where my bees are. And I let them fill that honey. I take that off in the fall, I cap it, I take the honey out, and then I usually leave one of these boxes on top of this, and that's kind of what I will overwinter my bees in, because we have pretty good winters here in Northwest Indiana, so I'll overwinter them in one super of honey and one deep if I'm doing this configuration. If it's a different configuration, which you can look at my other videos and see that I do side-by-side nucleus colonies, which is a whole other subject, then I usually do 2 deep brood boxes. But for large hives like this that I create just to make honey, I usually run them as one deep. Now, you can run them as multiple deeps. You can do 1, 2, or 3 deep brood chambers, and then a queen excluder and a bunch of honey supers or no queen excluders. There's a lot of ways to do this management. I'm going to show you the way that I think is easiest for beginners. And you can decide by looking at other people's videos and information online in the books. I'll suggest how you want to manage your bees. I've been doing this, like I said, 10 years, so I have a lot of experience in different management techniques. And as a beginner, you're going to just start out and kind of do something. You're going to kind of see what works for you in your part of the country or your part of the world. And it's going to be kind of a trial by error process. There's really no way to tell you exactly what kind of configuration is going to work for you unless you have a neighbor who lives right next to you that's doing this. And he can kind of tell you even that won't be exact, because the reason is everyone's different. Everyone has a job or something that they do, something that inconveniences them, comes in the middle of the way they manage the bees. And the bees don't stop for you. They do what they do. They build up, they get honey, they swarm, they do everything on their own time. You kind of have to manage them in that time frame. So even if you have a neighbor that does it a certain way, let's say you work at home 1 week and then you're away every other week, you travel. Well, if that gentleman or lady doesn't do that, then the way they manage their bees isn't exactly going to fit you, because you're going to have time. They might be 1 week they're doing something to their bees and you're gone. You miss that window. So that's why it's a trial by error thing. Everybody's got to learn how to do it just for them and their own personal timing and how often they want to get their hives and all that stuff. Like any other topic, really we just want to talk about the beekeeping equipment today and what's involved in all the different pieces of the beekeeping unit, which is called a beehive. This is it right here. So a couple other pieces of equipment that you're going to want to have along with your basic beekeeping unit are a hive smoker, and this is what we use to call smoking the bees, and we'll talk about what that does and why we do that. You're going to want what's called a hive tool, and we use this for prying the frames apart and the boxes apart, because the bees glue it all together with something called propolis, and it's very sticky, and without a tool like this, you won't be able to get things apart. Another thing you're going to want are some really good beekeeping gloves. You can use regular gloves, but you see how these are long and they go up. You don't have long things, you can wear a regular pair of gloves, and the bees can get in here, and they get under there and they get scared, and you swish them and they can sting you. So beekeeping gloves are a good idea, and also a beekeeping suit. I'm already wearing my suit because I just came out of the apiary for managing the beehive today. This is what's called a seamless bee suit. It's got 3 layers of material, but you got the wind conceal both of it, so it's not as hot. The bees can land on it, they don't like it because their little legs get in here and the little fabric moves, and they don't really like being on the suit. They pretty much won't sting through this. It's not a soft material like a white cotton where they can actually land and sting you. I don't think I've ever done through the suit. You can get some through some of the other bee suits, but not usually, because by the time you smoke your bees and get nice and calm, you won't have that problem. The main thing that you want is, if you don't want a full bee suit, you definitely want some kind of what's called a veil. And this one has an integral veil, so you just pull it up and zip it, and then you're protected. The bees can't sting you in the face, the lip, the eyes, the cheek, and that's kind of where the bees want to sting you, because bees see carbon dioxide, and they see the carbon dioxide coming out of your nose, your eyes, and your mouth, and so they see that, and they know to them you're an animal. You're like a cow or a dog or a bear, and so they are programmed to go right after that area, because they know that if they sting an animal in that area, they leave, and they won't continue to attack the hive. So that's kind of why you really want a veil at the very minimum. But I would suggest as a beginner, you have a veil, a full suit, and gloves until you're more comfortable with working with the bees. So when you get your bees to put in your new beehive, they're going to come in 1 of 2 ways. They're going to come in either a package with 10,000 bees and a queen, and the 3 pounds of bees are about 10,000 bees, and they'll be inside a box like this that's screened, or you get what's called a nucleus colony. And these range from 3 or 4 frames of bees with brood, eggs, larvae, and honey on the frames. And so you can buy them like this, or you can buy them like this. And if you want to know more about the differences, I'll put a video up in the card that explains the differences, the pros and cons of both, and what I suggest that you get as a beginner. Well, I hope you enjoyed the first episode of the Beginning Beekeeping series. I look forward to your questions in the comment area. If you have anything at all that you want to know about, please put the questions down there so other people can see those questions. And as always, be extraordinary. Well, if you'd like to become a better beekeeper, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.